Take me back to a place where I felt at home. Take me back to a day when we weren't alone. Take me back to an age when the world felt small. Way back before we blew it all. Take me back to a place where I felt at home. Take me back to a day when we weren't alone. Take me back to an age when the world felt small. Way back before we blew it all. Too many things going on, I can't keep track of them all. From people dropping a bomb to people putting up walls. I feel like life is on hold, perception stuck in a vault. I know that time can heal all, but how much time till we fall? It's awfully chilly outside, when there's no shelter to hide. When everything is a lie, you'll find that out in some time. But when the things on your mind are all considered a crime, communication aside, we'll all just fight till we die. Is this an argument, or just the start of it? Either way, I don't wanna be a part of it. Can I just get some space? I don't have the heart for this. I can't be picking up the pieces, fixing scars from this. Is this an argument, or just the start of it? I wanna drive away so I can be so far from it. I wanna find a place where no one breaks their promises. Or maybe drown myself in something that is bottomless. Take me back to a place where I felt at home. Take me back to a day when we weren't alone. Take me back to an age when the world felt small. Way back before we blew it all. Take me back to a place where I felt at home. Take me back to a day when we weren't alone. Take me back to an age when the world felt small. Way back before we blew it all. I know that things seem bad, but they could be much worse. There's always someone else who has a greater curse, a greater thirst, a hunger, pain, and mercy. Just find whatever you got and try to be thankful first. I wanna feel again, I need a couple friends. I never really understood just how the story ends, but I can feel it's tense, don't know the consequence. The volatility of life, my only confidence. Is this an argument, or just the start of it? Either way, I don't wanna be a part of it. Can I just get some space? I don't have the heart for this. I can't be picking up the pieces, fixing scars from this. Is this an argument, or just the start of it? I wanna drive away so I can be so far from it. I wanna find a place where no one breaks their promises. Or maybe drown myself in something that is bottomless. Take me back to a place where I felt at home. Take me back to a day when we weren't alone. Take me back to an age when the world felt small. Way back before we blew it all. Take me back to a place where I felt at home. Take me back to a day when we weren't alone. Take me back to an age when the world felt small. Way back before we blew it all.
This is the value of wrestling, the revolutionary force in wrestling podcasting.
It's your boy Miguel Z with the Value of Wrestling New Japan Rebound Podcast. I've got a guest for you folks at StocktonCon.
What up, everybody? AJ Kirsch here, the voice and the host of StocktonCon. The Value of Wrestling is awesome, so subscribe on YouTube. Scan the QR code right here, now. Subscribe, check it out.
There we go.
You'll be glad you did.
Thank you, brother.
Yeah, that part. Hey, man, shout out the Value of Wrestling. I'm right here with the Big Oos, San Jose. We done shut the shit down. Love and respect, though, right? Value of Wrestling. Hello.
Man, thank you, brother. Thank
Oh, you didn't know. You better call somebody, let them know that we're live right here on the YouTube. This is the Value Wrestling. This is your Smackdown post-show review for April 12th, 2024. And we are here. We are live. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the party. Lottie. Let me get into it. You know the man sitting across from me. It's Clarke. Who's coming out the big time? I'm here all the time, doing what I do and doing it better than most. And you can believe that, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to your post-show review for SmackDown. We got a big surprise tonight. We got some interesting matches tonight. Fairly overall good, decent, average show. I mean, I felt like it was a little letdown coming off of WrestleMania. Monday Night Raw was super hot. And tonight was kind of, it was good, but not great. I don't know if they carried the momentum in as they had. But again, we're coming off of WrestleMania, so we went really hot. And this week it's kind of, we're starting to get in that mid-shift. We're kind of on a holding pattern. We're starting to build some stories, but we also know there's a draft coming up. in about a week, 2 weeks, whatever it is now.
Later this month.
Yes. So we know there's a holding pattern because there's going to be some changes coming up. So it's kind of just filling in time. Anyways, we opened the show with a new undisputed WWE champion. I think we finally got that under control. For a while there was a lot of back and forth if it's the undisputed WWE champion or was the undefeated Universal WWE champion. But now it seems like even Cody announced it tonight as the undisputed WWE championship, which is fine by me. Get the Universal out of there and get to that. He comes out, he soaks it in. He's not sure what got him. He soaks in all the chants. That's what we want to talk about. He brings up being interrupted by The Rock on Monday and then quotes his wife and apologizes for cursing. He's not sure what got into him. Well, when The Rock handed him something on Monday, it was a wartime overture, something he'd gifted to The Rock years ago. But he believes Rock when he said he was leaving, but would come back. He was coming back for Cody. But that's in the past. In 3 weeks, he's going to headline Backlash in France. But he needs a title challenger. He runs down as a potential opponent. And then plays a little bit with the crowd. And then quotes Omar from The Wire, "If you come at the king, you best not miss." Then warns everybody on the blue brand that he was once undesirable, became undeniable, and now undisputed champion. And that is the opening promo with Cody Rhodes. Good solid promo here. Cody getting himself over. Listing out who he's going to be facing later, or who's possibly going to be facing at Backlash, as we have two triple threat matches tonight. The winner of these triple threat matches will face each other next week, and we will conclude who will be Cody Rhodes the next. So, not a whole lot here to talk about. It seems like they may have given away what Cody got, but I'm not sure the way they worded it. I thought it was I didn't think it was something from long ago. I figured it was the watch that Cody gave The Rock when they went to war, but I don't know anymore. Everything's very confusing. So, your thoughts?
Well, the point was it was a personal piece. It was something personal between The Rock and Cody. That's all it has to be. If it means something to each character, then they can go on from here.
Yes, very much so. From there, we got footage of different people arriving at the venue. I can talk, I promise. In the back, we have Solo Sikoa, Paul Heyman, and the Tribal, we have Jimmy Uso. I hate this person who writes all this other crap before. He walks and comes across. They're walking to the locker room. When they come to Cody's locker room, the Champ's locker room, the Bloodline no longer has a locker room. Kevin Owens walks to the picture, opens the doors, and tells them they're not invited. Solo wants to take care of business, but Paul Heyman calls him down, saying losing has consequences. That's the Champ's locker room, and Cody is the champ now. They want it back. They need the title per orders of the Tribal Chief. LA Knight heads to the ring to a big ovation, and we'll get our first match this evening after after this break. We come back from break, and we have Bobby Lashley come to the ring, and eventually Santos Escobar in the ring. And we get a whole grouping. We get all three men in the ring. We had a good solid match here, back and forth. Bobby Lashley looking really strong in the moment. Yeah, you're late to the party, sir. Eventually, Angel and Humberto they jump in the ring to try and take out Lashley. Then jump Knight. They triple powerbomb Knight with Escobar. Then they try to beat down Bobby, but then Montez Ford and Angela Dawkins came out. And then back and forth ensued there. Then Elektra Lopez came in and stopped, I believe, Montez Ford from flying over the ropes. This brought in BFAB. She took down Elektra. Then he flew over the ropes, took them all out. Bobby wants a spear, but Escobar dodges. Bobby posts himself. The Knight catches Escobar with blunt force trauma. We get a pin at 8 minutes, 21 seconds. LA Knight wins. LA Knight's moving on in this short tournament. He'll be facing the winner of the other triple threat match tonight. 2.5 star match. I don't know. It's a good match. It was an okay match. It wasn't great, but it was pretty, and we got LA Knight there. Good solid match.
Yeah.
Mr. Clarke.
Absolutely. I mean, all the interference from Santos' crew, it was what it was. It could create a little bit of interest, but you knew Santos wasn't going over. And I didn't think Bobby was going over, so LA Knight was kind of just your likely choice.
In the back, Kayla's interviewing the LWO. And Carlito not wearing an LWO shirt, but everybody else is. Pay attention to that.
Because if that's not foreshadowing, I don't know what is.
Ray knows Karma will always fight you when you're a jerk. Everyone laughs off Escobar denying that they attacked Dragon Lee. Ray promises the truth will always surface. Ray is focused on his match tonight. He's done a lot in his career, but he feels he's got one more run as champion in him. Back in the ring, back in ringside, we see Solo heading to the ring with Paul Heyman and Jimmy. They're about to talk. We get a post-match minor recap of Mania. And then we are in the ring with Paul Heyman on the mic. Heyman introduces himself, and tonight, by the order of the Tribal Chief, the Bloodline will make no excuses. They don't blame Cena, they don't blame The Undertaker, or even Jey Uso. Accountability is a very important thing, and Roman Reigns has ordered that everyone accept it. At Mania, Roman entered the ring as prepared as possible, but Cody flipped the script from Mania 39. Seth Rollins promised to be Cody's Shield at Mania, and that's one piece of unfinished business for Roman. And when Roman had a chair at Mania and he could have crushed Cody legally, he didn't, because he'd rather revisit a decade of revenge on Rollins and was distracted for just a second, just long enough to lose everything and have a new undisputed champion in Cody Rhodes. But like a phoenix rising from the ashes, as Heyman's saying this, Solo cuts him off by staring at Heyman. Solo says, losing and winning matters, right? So there's consequences to losing, right? Heyman agrees, so the consequences mean change. Solo pushes Heyman aside and stares down Jimmy. Jimmy gets upset, but Solo hugs him, tells him he loves his brother, then walks away as suddenly a hooded man jumps in the ring and starts beating down Jimmy. Pulls back his hood to remove the newest member of the Bloodline, the newest member of the SmackDown roster. Tama Tonga reported earlier today that he was in the Detroit area. Reveals himself, and they beat down Jimmy. Solo eventually wraps Jimmy's head in a steel chair in the corner and then hits him with the I don't know what they call it, a hip attack. There we go. And this was after a beatdown, some spikes from Solo. Solo tells Jimmy again that he loves him before crushing him in the corner with a hip attack. Solo and Tonga leave and basically drag a terrified Heyman with them. So that's going to be very interesting. It's also rumored that WWE signed Jacob Fatu. Where's Jacob Fatu going to fall in this? And there's still Zilla Fatu that's rumored to be hanging around. Lance Anoa'i's hanging around. A lot of the Bloodline members that may be popping up sooner than later. But yeah, tonight we got the debut on WWE TV of Tama Tonga aligning himself with Solo Sikoa. Solo Sikoa looks like he's going to take the reins, no pun intended, from Roman Reigns as your new tribal chief. Or was this maybe under orders of a high chief? Has a high chief made a new tribal chief? There's some questions that's going to be there. Who's really in charge? Who's in control of all this? We know Roman and we know Roman and Rock are going to be gone for a little bit. So Solo's stepping up into this role, possibly proclaiming himself the new tribal chief. Didn't really do it, so it's going to be interesting. What got Tama Tonga aligned here? I mean, outside, I mean, in the storyline aspect, it's what, how do we bring Tama Tonga in this? They did announce that he is the son of Haku, which was good to hear about. A lot of interesting things here to get you to wonder about who's running what, who's in charge, who's the tribal chief, is there a high chief that's changed tribal chiefs, and where do other aspects of this family bloodline fall into now? Mr. Clarke, your thoughts on this?
My only nitpick is Tama Tonga is but one of 3 sons of Haku. They're acting like it's, like he's the only one, but it's their story. I'm not too worried about it. I understand it's me nitpicking. Beyond that, I'm just waiting to see where this goes. And I'm also waiting to see where the fallout, like you said, it's been rumored, it's been said, it's been reported that name is
Jacob Fatu
has signed. So where does he play into this at some point? It's going to be great.
And there's rumors of Zilla Fatu. There's rumors Lance and Hawaii has put out something. And then there's the other brother that we don't know, Tongaleo. Could he be on his way over too? Could he be the next one to show up?
I know Hikuleo is still signed to New Japan because he's at Winnie City Riot tonight, I believe.
That's in Chicago.
Yeah.
Don't you know? I wonder if the Scapegoat and the Second City Saint are all... the Scapegoat and the Second City Saint may be in the same city. Anyways, from there, we got a surprise. We got Cameron Grimes in the ring, and you're like, oh, Cameron Grimes, yay, we're going to see Cameron Grimes do something. And then they bring out Braun Breaker with some new music and effects, and you're like, oh, no, okay.
Damn it.
Braun Breaker gets the Jake Cargill treatment, the Goldberg treatment here. He goes out, pretty much beats down Cameron Grimes. Cameron Grimes gets a couple moves off of it. There was a botched kick. Like, Grimes went to kick him, but Braun was not far, and it was too far, so it didn't really land anywhere, but Braun sold it. It's kind of funny. And then Cameron Grimes jumped off the rope, and I think he was a little short, or Braun Breaker was a little far, because he kind of grabbed him at the last second and went down with him. Luckily, nobody got hurt. And then Braun hits with the spear, and I know there's a lot of people who like Braun Breaker from NXT. If you watch him in NXT, you think he's great. The little bit I've seen on the main roster, I'm just like, no. He doesn't need to use the spear, or he needs to make the spear different, because it's just like his spear didn't feel like it was just a spear. It's like Lashley, it's like Roman, it's like everybody else is using the spear right now. Unless, and Braun Breaker's a big boy. I mean, he's Steiner. I mean, he looks like his daddy and his uncle. I mean, so it's like the way they used to wrestle, their moves were power packed. They hit hard. I just don't feel Braun Breaker's bringing that same impact. And when he hits that spear, it just, I'm sorry, Goldberg still hits a harder spear than Braun Breaker right now in my eyes.
I think what they're trying to sell on is him going back from one rope to the other, like, his speed about it. Now, whether that impresses you or not, that's another story. Whether that impresses me or not, that's another story.
But he came out of the
But
corner
I think
tonight
for the
when he hit it.
mainstream fan, that's what they're selling on.
But he came out of the corner when he did it tonight.
No, he went from one rope to the other and then hit him.
He came out of the corner when he hit. And it just still didn't feel impactful. It just still didn't have that of driving into it. And I'm just like, I don't know. Too many people do the spear. Spear is used so much, not even just as a finisher, but just in the middle of a match spear. It's just like, people complain about the super kick. People complain about the spear. It's just like, this man should be having something that's, I don't know. It was a squash match, but it wasn't really that great of a squash match. Like, it didn't really sell Braun Breaker as the badass. Huh?
Some of us are still wondering why he can't just use the Steiner recliner and be done with it.
No, and I think that's what it is. If he got these guys in belly to belly and just slammed them around the ring and then strapped on the Steiner recliner, that would be more impressive. Like, here it was like, I don't want to see Cameron Grimes get manhandled, but again, it's Braun Breaker. You're trying to build him, so you're kind of like, he should have been throwing Grimes around the ring. Sucks for Grimes, because I want to see Cameron Grimes do something, but at the same time, we know we're building Braun Breaker, so it didn't do it for me. It's just, I don't know. Anyways, from there, was there anything you want to add to that? I know that was like a 1 minute match, so.
Yeah, there's not much to sink your teeth into. So.
What can you say, in the back, we see Bayley walking in the back. Apparently, she'll be talking to us after break. In the back, we have AJ Styles. He talks tonight. He fixes what went wrong at Mania. He's going straight for the title and will demolish everything in his way. This isn't personal. It's necessary. He'll step over both of their bodies to get what he wants. And the damage tonight is just a taste of what he's got for night next week. To the ring, and out comes Bayley. Bayley gets the usual cheers and thanks to the crowd. She's proud to be women's champion. And while this isn't her first title, but it's a special because she's part of the new era, part of an incredible locker room, but mostly it's special because of the fans. For 11 years, the fans have been there through everything, and they motivated her every step of the way. She decided to start this journey, and she wants to give out a new opportunity. This brings out Tyme. Tiffany Stratton comes out proclaiming that Bayley is going to have an open challenge. Bayley's like, no, I wasn't going to offer no open challenge. I was going to give a shot to somebody who returned at the Rumble. She talks about Naomi. Tiffany says Naomi hasn't done anything to earn a title. And then Naomi comes out and looks all pissed off and tells Tiffany she can't have the road. Tiffany brings up already having beat her. Naomi warns Tiffany this is the wrong night to test her. And so from there we get Tiffany Stratton versus Naomi. Had a good little match. It was okay. Eventually in the end, Tiffany for the prettiest moonsault ever, but Naomi avoids and Tiffany lands on her feet, but Naomi catches her with a jackknife pin to get the win. 9 minutes, 14 seconds. A good little showcase here, but Naomi won. I was kind of shocked. I would have thought they might have gone with Tiffy, at least how they're building her. But no, we're going to get Naomi versus Bayley for the title. Cool.
Next week.
Yeah, next week. So it's kind of cool in a sense, but it's kind of like, yay. Yeah.
She's gonna get
not
fed
much
to
here.
Bailey. That's all that is.
Yeah. So it was a match.
Although it does give Tiffany more motivation to really get there and really be a heel and really just take it to whoever.
Well, we wonder if she'll interfere next week and cause this match to be a fallout. Maybe this will turn into a triple threat at Backlash.
That's a possibility.
That'll at least make it interesting. So, and maybe that'll. Well, you already had Tiffany take a fall tonight, so I don't know. Again, you could have it in there and have Naomi take the fall and Bailey get the pin on Naomi. Mix things up a little bit, so Tiffany doesn't take another loss. Because I know they're trying to build up Tiffany to be something.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, I just have a hard time with Blondes and Tiffany. They just. Hey, that's my personal thing.
Leaving that alone.
Exactly. We're all just gonna leave it alone because there's booches out now and never.
Ironically, they also both have the term Barbie in their nicknames.
Anyways, we got a video package of Austin Theory and Grayson Waller winning the tag team titles. It was reported earlier they were not going to show up for SmackDown. So we got a video package of them. We've seen the new Catch Republic and the Street Profits with Nick Aldis. Aldis promises they'll be finding challengers for the titles next week. And we got a 4-way match. I forget who's going to be in that, but 4 people, 4 teams. I think the Street Profits, New Catch Republic, LWO and Los Gatos, Los Fantasmos, whatever. I can't think of their names right now. I think those are the teams. I'm not sure. Anyways, in the back, Rey Mysterio.
I didn't catch the fact that they said 4 teams. I knew they said they were going to find new challengers.
Well, they showed a pop up later of 4 teams, or they're gonna have a 4-way for the tag team #1 contendership. But that was later. It may be in these notes once we get down there. I'll have to see. Anyways, Rey Mysterio is warming up in the back before the main event. Post break, WWE. We get a recap. We get a Logan Paul video calling it the Logan Paul Avec era. Very interesting. This person wrote it.
Just horrible.
It's the Paul Logan era. No, he didn't say it was the Logan Paul era. He said it's the Logan Paul Levesque era. If you didn't catch, he said Levesque and all that, then I don't know what you were listening to. From there, we have Chelsea Green and Piper Niven talking to Nick Aldis about how they want a match. Nick Aldis is like, okay, he sends them out there, and we get Chelsea Green and Piper Niven out there against Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair in a tag match. This is a super squash. Piper goes up top for a Vader bomb, but she misses. Green tags in, as does Jade. Jade spikes Green, then super kicks her and hits Jaded to win. This match went 1 minute 30 seconds, and everybody's going to be pissed. There wasn't that much wrestling on SmackDown. Look, AEW gave you all this wrestling. Also, they gave us a bunch of crap in the middle of it. That's why the ratings, which we'll talk about Sunday. If you're here Sunday, 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, we're going to break down what happened in the ratings on AEW Dynamite this week, of how Tony Khan popped it but couldn't maintain it. He may have popped a rating and took it up 30% from the week before, which was dismal. But in the end, those ratings went. So by the end of the show, nobody was really watching. But yes,
anyway,
I know.
Back to this tag team match.
Yeah,
I was very happy at the idea of seeing Piper Niven and Chelsea Green out there. Then it's like, oh, Jade's coming out. Which I'm not disappointed. I'm glad Jade's there. But by the same token, I'm like, oh, that means that we're going to have to job these two out for the sake of both building Jade and because, well, it's kind of funny. Because you knew she was going to have a face about it. You knew Chelsea was going to be a Karen about it. Like, wait a minute. Not again. Not just after Monday.
Am I going to lose my shit over Ospreay awkward promo? I hope you lose your stuff because that's your boy. Like I said, I think you're going to have to take down your banner. That's how bad it got. So we'll see what happens on Sunday. Is that a question or is that a statement? I don't know what. Yeah, are you saying you're going to lose your woohoo? You know, you're going to lose your poopy poop over Ospreay in his promo on Sunday. Is that what you're telling us? That you better be prepared to be here Sunday at 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time when the Value Wrestling hosts a weekly roundup where Miguel Z is going to be there and he's going to lose it. I did. He's going to tell you all about that on Sunday, so make sure you're here for that, because on Sunday, he can lose it all when we talk about Will Ospreay and the grind. Statement. Okay, anyways, moving along. It was a good match. We knew Jade Cargill was going to win. I guess we're going to get Jade and Bianca Belair together, which might be the best thing for Jade Cargill. It kind of covers up her greediness and it focuses on her strength. They may be the next women's tag team champions going forward, so this could be interesting. This could be where they're building Bianca and Jade against the Kabuki Warriors.
Well, here's also the thing: the fact that it helps Jade in that respect, like you just said, but it also helps make Bianca a little more likable.
Yes.
And it's like, I'm so used to seeing Jade as a heel in AEW. I'm just like, okay, face Jade. Still got a similar attitude. Like, she's still that bitch without having to say it.
Yes, it's softening.
Mean, it's good for both of them.
It's softening up Bianca Belair where she's not alone, and you're just like, I want to choke myself when she comes on TV. Not because she's a bad talent and she can wrestle, yes, but she's just, her character is just, god awful. Sorry, I mean it's a fact. It's anyways, in the back, Kevin Owens is talking to Byron Saxton. I'm not a fan of Bianca, but this works for both. Okay. In the back, Kevin Owens talks with Byron Saxton. He asks for the cameraman to follow him, and Owens takes the mics. He walks through the arena. He walks and finds the Detroit Tigers title belt sitting on the table. He picks it up and goes, I'm taking this. And as he's walking away from the wannabe merch table, there's a stack of like 3 CM Punk shirts. He kind of shoves them off on the ground for a slight jab there because WWE and their slight shots. Oh, they're shooting.
But they're shooting at least someone who's in the company.
This is true. AJ's still suffering. Kevin Owens tells us that AJ's still suffering PTSD and notes that he and Ray both have sons that are taller than him, but his son is awesome, unlike unlike Dominic, who sucks. Ultimately, he wants the title and will beat both of them down to get there. And for the record, Owens did get his tracking shot. Okay. Owens heads to the ring, and then we get a post break. Good news next week, Bayley and Naomi for the belt in a fatal 4-way tag team match for a shot at the tag team belts. So that's happening, but they didn't give me the list of people. But that came up then. Anyways, we got the triple threat here. A good solid match between Kevin Owens, Rey Mysterio, and AJ Styles. You could have predicted who was going to win this. Eventually, in the end, Rey tries to hit a Hurricane Rana, but AJ catches him and hits an avalanche. He's trying to hit Hurricane Rana off the top ropes, but AJ's up there, locks him into a Styles Clash as Kevin Owens is laying on his back right next to the corner, and he crashes on top of Rey. He drops the Styles Clash, dropping Rey and himself on top of Owens, and rolls through and pins Rey for the 1, 2, 3. Owens then, Clash, dropping Rey onto Owens, then pinning Rey to win. Okay. Yeah. So it's really funky there. Anyways, AJ Styles wins as he celebrated. LA Knight comes into the ring, and they have a stare down. They face each other, and they have a trash talk-off. I think this will be AJ's redemption over LA Knight to continue their feud for a later date. But now they'll both have at least win-win against each other. But a good solid match here to end Monday night. And we go into next week, AJ Styles versus LA Knight. Winner will get Cody Rhodes at Backlash. Your thoughts, sir?
I'm not mad at all. I mean, it's like, I would have been cool if Kevin Owens happened to be the winner, but it wasn't. I'm fine with that. I love AJ Styles too, so like there really was no bad winners here. Any of the 3 could have gone over, and you would have been like, okay, because it doesn't matter who it is. Cody ultimately is retaining that title.
Yes, Cody's going to hold that title for a while. I don't know if he's going to hold it to next year. The rumors are speculating that it's going to be him and The Rock. Will he still hold that title until next WrestleMania? Are we going to see something at SummerSlam? I guess a lot of it's going to depend on how everybody receives Cody as champion from here out. We're in a trial run. If it doesn't pan out, it's going to be interesting, especially with right now where WWE is without The Rock, without Roman Reigns, without Seth Rollins, without Becky Lynch, without a lot of big names. Thank goodness for guerrilla warfare. What do you mean? You got to remember, everybody doesn't know what that may mean. So you busting out for guerrilla warfare. You may have to explain yourself, sir.
I'm assuming he's talking about Tama Tonga. I'm not entirely sure, just based off of that.
But wasn't guerrilla warfare a team? So I mean, it's like
Guerrillas of Destiny.
Okay, Guerrillas of Destiny. Tag team. Tama Tonga.
Again,
okay.
Like Big Time said, you need to explain to the audience. You know, you're in the comment section. We can be your avatar
So
for
yes,
speech, but you gotta.
what is guerrilla warfare then? Is that just his nickname? Gotta fill us in here.
Do 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 do.
AT&T is not playing nice tonight. Is that it? Nickname. Okay, there you go. Yes, you should have said guerrilla warfare nickname. You know, Tamatonga, in that same sentence, so people would understand it. Because not everybody's going to understand. And who knows how many people really know who that is. At least WWE seems to be making a little more out of it than AEW seems to do it. AEW just makes you want to assume you should know. At least WWE is saying, "Oh, it's Haku's son," even though they didn't really say one of his sons.
It connects to WWE legacy, at least.
Yes, they're at least making the connection. AEW just somebody shows up, you're like, "Oh, okay, cool." Anyways, yes, Tamatong is here, so that's interesting, especially with the signing of Jacob Fatu. We thought maybe Jacob Fatu was going to be there. I thought we were in Detroit. Maybe the Motor City Machine Guns would show up on WWE TV, because I'd rather see him go to WWE TV than AEW and be fed to the Young Bucks.
Oh, hell yes.
Or the hashtag Tampon Bucks, as we like to call them here. Mr. Z, have you been blocked by the Tampon Bucks yet? Because we have a three-way race, I guess, going on. You, Marty Richards, and your wife are all in a race to see who's the next to get blocked by the Young Bucks. This is our entertainment here at the Value Wrestling. But yeah, so Jacob Tamatonga's there. We know Jacob Fatu signed. We don't know where he's going to lead to. Of course, maybe Jacob Fatu doesn't fit in any of this. What if Jacob Fatu laugh? That's not what I asked you. What if Jacob Fatu shows up on like NXT and aligns himself with the OC? What if Judgment Day finally breaks up and they put Finn Balor? Nope, still not black. What if they put Finn Balor with Jacob Fatu and no, wait, that would have been Tamatonga, not Jacob. See, now I'm getting myself confused. There was rumors that they were going to put Jacob Fatu with the OC, so I don't know what they're going to do there. But they could definitely take the original OC and Finn Balor and Tamatonga somewhere down the line and put them back together.
Yeah, it's always a possibility.
So, I mean, I guess the question is, who's going to have more Bullet Club members in their roster nowadays? WWE or AEW? Because, I mean, let's see. AEW has what? They got the Elite, which is the 3. Who else is? Anybody else? Oh, well, then they got Jay White. So that's 4. And then WWE now has Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson, AJ Styles, Cody Rhodes, Tamatonga, so that's at least 5. Finn Balor makes 6.
Yeah, but the company that has the most
from
the Bullet Club is still going to be New Japan.
Yes, we know
they
that,
have
but
subsections of Bullet Club.
It's just very interesting how it's happening there. So it'll be interesting to see. Jacob Fatu is still hanging out there. We know there's Zilla Fatu that's out there. That's been talked about trying to get into WWE. Lance Anoa'i's floating around there. I don't know what he is or how special he is. That would be money. And in the current administration, they will break down the history of Tama, Balor, Anderson, and Gallows, and AJ and Cody, if they were all going to line them right. I mean, what would who's the original 4th member there? Was that Bad Luck Paul?
Balor Fale is definitely one of the original members. Balor, well, Prince Devitt.
Yes.
Machine Gun Carl Anderson.
So what happens if WWE picks up Paul? That'd be like off the wall crazy.
That would be a surprise left curb. Like, I wouldn't. Them picking up Bad Luck Fale would be interesting.
Oh, I mean, very interesting. What could be possibilities here. So, SmackDown, overall decent show. Not great. I think a lot of it just became off the high, and now we're kind of stagnant. We'll have to see if we pick back up. I think it's going to be okay without The Rock, without Roman. We're going to be okay. They recently fired their the senior vice president of talent relations. It seems this man has not been doing his job. Why we've been hearing about all these contracts and nobody offering contracts? It seems this guy has been very difficult to negotiate with. Apparently, it's why none of these new contracts have been signed by some of these stars that are going out. And I guess the newest member of talent relations now is the head of creative for NXT. So Triple H, Paul Levesque, and Shawn Michaels, the Heartbreak Kid, or Michael Sean Hickenbottom, because people find it funny that people won't mention Shawn Michaels' real name and only uses his kayfabe name. Anyways, it looks like they are the ones that are at least in some authority of hiring stars or finding new talent or working with the talent. DX is ruling WWE in a way that I think we joked about it. I think we were younger, but I don't think we ever really took it seriously that we'd see a day when they're standing here. So, and I know some people want to say that Triple H only got into his position because of who he is connected to, which is like low hanging fruit and jokes from the Attitude Era, 2000. Like we haven't heard that before, but I think you also have to understand that Triple H has earned everything to be where he is, too. I mean, that man has a legacy that goes far beyond that. I mean, this man, along with Shawn Michaels, was a big reason of the Attitude Era. They were bringing the Attitude Era before it officially became the Attitude Era. Yes, Stone Cold was a big catalyst in that. Bret the Hitman Hart, in his way, helped with the Bret Screwed Bret and the heel Vince McMahon character that came into play. So, yes, there's a lot of aspects, but Triple H was kind of the catalyst, the forefront of the Attitude Era. We may not gotten the Attitude Era if Paul Levesque wasn't in the position he was in with Shawn Michaels at that time. So,
well, think about this though, or let me ask you this: are you ready? Because if you're not down for the grind, let's get ready to suck it.
Exactly. And it doesn't mean that you can't grind in your own way. It just means, you want to do the WWE grind. And I just don't think it's right to just tarnish grinding on the boss's dot. Well, see, I don't want to repeat it because it is low-hanging fruit. But that's your boy. That's your boy.
That's 20 years old low-hanging fruit. Like,
yes.
Have we not moved past that yet? It's 2024. No. Come up with something fresh.
I know. I mean, it was the lowest hanging fruit, and the different reports that people were excited that Will Ospreay was excited to go say that. I was just like, why? Why were you? Why? I thought you were more of a yes, you're great on the mic. You've had some great promos with New Japan and all the promos that you've done, but I mean, I bet you are. But to go out there on national TV, and if this is the chosen direction you want to go because you feel that Triple H invited you when he didn't even call you out, but you, and I know people are saying, well, he didn't call out Triple H. No, he didn't name Triple H by name, but I mean, it was a little more directly shot because everybody knows who you're talking about when you say you didn't get in your position in wrestling, but without sleeping with the boss's daughter. We know who that's directed at way more than a comment of saying, oh, if you don't want to be in the grind, you don't want to be here. I'm glad I didn't get you because I don't want you here. Which should be fact. I mean, that's business.
Yep.
And if you got a problem with that, Mr. Will Ospreay, whatever you want to be called, Mr. Aerial Assassin, feel free to come right here and talk to us. We will have the interview. We'll have the discussion. Hey, you can say whatever you want. We can get in a whole heated conversation about it. I'm just saying, I think you're picking low-hanging fruit and picking a fight that was never necessary because your ability in the ring, the talent you have, and the ability to shoot a promo and do what you do is going to make you one of the greatest stars in this era, if not one of the greatest stars of wrestling of all time. But when you do something like that, it's just going to tarnish what you're doing. And if this is what you're going to be doing in AEW, you're going to wear people out real quick and real thin, and AEW is just going to be another pit stop that's just not going to leave you better than when you came in.
See, he should have gone to TNA.
So I'm sorry that your personal life is fine. I understand why you may not wanted to work the grind that WWE brings, and I understand that. And you went to AEW, but I think you went for low-hanging fruit on a battlefield that didn't need to be. You didn't need to be on that battlefield. There's not even a battlefield that should be existing right now. I'm sorry that people feel that WWE is sliding AEW. That's your opinion. WWE says we don't have competition. We compete against ourselves. It's kind of factual, because where is AEW competing with WWE? Just because they're two wrestling companies with TV doesn't mean they're direct competitors.
Nope. Yeah. AEW is the challenger brand, but the problem is they're still not at the level.
No, they may have been at the level prior, in their very beginning, in the first couple of years, they may have shown an ability to be a challenger, and we're being the alternative and bringing eyes and people in and making people excited for wrestling again, because they were doing something different, while a redacted idiot that was senile and didn't know what he was doing anymore was crashing WWE. And now, for whatever reason, the scripts have flipped. Redacted's gone. Triple H is bringing new life into WWE, and it's hotter than it's ever been. And we're in a renaissance era with WWE. And Tony Khan's over here attacking low-bearing fruits, letting wrestlers that are not even under his banner anymore pop his ratings to create a storyline that never needed it. And he's sitting over there boohooing, crying to his Mark fans. He's a Mark building matches for Marks. And that group is very small, as we see in the attendance, as we see in the TV ratings. And now, granted, 800,000 might be the right number for a Wednesday night, and Warner Brothers Discovery might be happy with that, but at the end of the day, still haven't heard about a TV renewal. Anyways, we've filled time, yada, yada, yada. If you want to hear more about this, if you want to hear what Mr. Z is going to be, he's ready to unleash. He might even cry on air this Sunday. I don't know. This man.
Damn.
Well, I know it's got to be emotional for him. I don't know, Mr. Z, I don't know how hard that promo from Will Ospreay affected you, because I know that was your boy. And I know Mr. Clarke's a fan of Will Ospreay, but I don't think it's in that same level.
No, you're right. It's not the same. But see, just look at what they're doing with my girl, with my wifey, as I like to call her. This is why I'm done with the damn company.
They bought 3 of the top talent in free agency, and none of them have really made a difference. None of them done. I mean, what has Okada done since he's gotten there? What has Monet done? All of a sudden got a title shot for the TBS title at Double or Nothing, and we're not going to see her wrestle until Double or Nothing. That excites you? People are turning on AEW, and this is what I'm telling Tony Khan. People are turning on you, and you really pushed a whole bunch of people over the cliff with this last Dynamite. A lot of those people that were just right there, they were just trying to give you a chance, you've really pushed them off that edge. Mm-hmm. And your fan base is, you can look at Twitter and see the day before you showed that footage, there was ground for people to stand there. The day after, even people who were battling the day before for the footage, when they watched it, were like, yeah, that wasn't good. And then the fact that you had the Will Ospreay comment right afterwards. Thank God somebody told Will Ospreay not to make a comment about CM Punk making the comment about the attendance tattoo in his arm. Ospreay wanted to say something about that, and they're like, no, that's too much. So at least they backed him off of that. But I'm just like, he really wanted to go out there and go scorch earth for no reason. Like, he's just barely been in AEW for a cup of tea, and he wants to go scorched earth on WWE for stupid comments that you're only giving credit to, acknowledgement to, by addressing them. If you didn't address them, they wouldn't mean anything, they wouldn't have any value, and people would be focusing on what you're doing in the ring.
Well, if they're going to acknowledge anything, at least they should be acknowledging Roman Reigns. Make it make sense.
Oh, that's what TK needs to come out and do. He needs to come out and go super heel and make everybody acknowledge him.
Oh, good Lord.
He just needs to go like crazy loony boss where everybody must bow down to him or something. I don't know. He needs to give the book. He needs to give the book over. He needs to give creative over. Scott D'Amore. Hell, why not give it to Bully Ray? Bully Ray has flat out said, "I will do it for free. I will come help you for free. All you have to do is ask." Bully Ray's offering your services for free. That's not necessarily a bad thing. Bully Ray has the talent, has the skills, and knows the house. He has experience, 20 plus years of professional wrestling, and he's worked in three of the major companies. He worked in ECW, so he worked under the Paul Heyman tree, so he learned a lot there. He worked in WWE in that creative department, in that direction, and then he worked in TNA under a whole new direction, and he got to work with Bischoff and unfortunately Russo at a point, and he got to have Hogan around. So I mean, he's got a lot of experience of good and bad.
What, you think he didn't have any conversations with Jeff Jarrett, one of the founders?
And how do you have Jeff Jarrett in your company and you're still? I mean, of course, Jeff's over there kissing butt, and I just don't know what Jeff's doing. Hold on to a place to wrestle.
Paycheck. Who cares?
Yeah, no. He's trying to justify way too much. And I'm just like, how do you have all these people that are there? You could have had Eric Bischoff. Pissed him off by talking smack about Ted Turner, and that ship's pretty much sailed. I don't know if you could ever recover that that ship.
I don't think so. Or he would have to kiss a lot of rear for that one to work out, and I still don't think Bischoff would go for it.
I'm just like, how do you not? I mean, all the pundits that actually have the experience are saying you're doing something wrong. Pundits that agree with you are Meltzer.
Our guess man.
Who's pretty much your uncle. And we know how you feel about your uncle because he gives you 5 stars, and it's like he gives you cookies. It's like, you did a good job, Tony. Here's your cookies. Here's your little gold star. Let's put your little gold star pin on. That's how Meltzer does. Tell me what I'm telling lies. Meltzer just gives him 5 stars. People are questioning Meltzer. Meltzer gave the Rock Roman match 4.5 stars and wouldn't give it 5. People are like, how's that not a 5-star match when it meets all your criteria? Because it's not AEW.
I don't. Okay, now, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think I heard that Meltzer's not giving anyone in WWE a 5-star match. And when you look at the long history of WWE, at least the televised and pay-per-view, matches, like, there's been some what should be considered 5-star matches. Some wrestlers we don't talk about anymore. Some wrestlers are just retired now.
Well,
like
I
Kurt
think
Angle, as an example.
Well, Kurt Angle has never gotten a 5-star match, but Eddie Kingston has one. I know people made that statement, like, Eddie Kingston has a 5-star match, but Eddie Kingston's awesome, but Kurt Angle doesn't have a 5-star match, and it kind of makes you go,
something wrong here. And I love Eddie Kingston.
Yes.
He probably deserves those 5-star matches.
No
but
doubt.
You're telling me Kurt Angle doesn't? Really?
And then it and I hate to say it, but it also looks like Sap's starting to line on that side of the Kool-Aid drink. I don't know what's going on there. Sap seems to be on something. I don't know. I thought he was more reasonable. But, I don't know. But to me, it's like
Sean Ross Sapp said he was going to step away from Twitter after WrestleMania and do more on Fightful stuff on their platforms, and makes you wonder what he's still doing on Twitter.
Oh, and he's blowing up and fighting people on Twitter basically. So I don't know. It's crazy. He's I don't know. But it seems the marks and these, I guess, I hate to say it, I know there's this point, but it's like the people who don't want to call out Tony are the ones that get the passes to the scrum. So they're trying to stay buddy because that's the way Tony gives them out. Well, there's scenarios there. You don't hear those people necessarily talking bad about Tony.
But what do you get out of it by direct? I mean, saying something on Twitter is one thing, but when you're at a scrum, what is the point? You can ask the questions, and there are plenty of times the questions are asked that Tony won't answer.
Yes.
But what do you get out of directly insulting Tony at a scrum? I mean,
well, I'm not saying I'm not even saying in the scrum, but even outside of the scrum, it doesn't seem like they hold Tony accountable for some of his actions. Like they just. But of course, Meltzer's turned big this week after even Meltzer's coming out going, this didn't work out in their favor. This is not good. Meltzer's definitely very interesting to see Meltzer back off of this. It's a crazy world. It's going to be an interesting Sunday conversation. There's going to be a lot to talk about. It's going to be a good show. We're going to break it all down. But yeah, so definitely be here for that. But SmackDown decent show. We got through it. It's kind of a floater show. I think what sucks was we were all hyped up for a lot of stuff, and then we got to Friday, and it just didn't really continue that flow.
It wasn't as hot as Raw.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
It is what it is. It was a good show. We got some different matches. We're getting some different stuff. But again, we know there's a draft coming out, so I think everything's going to kind of float through until we get the draft and Backlash done. After Backlash, of course, then we head into the King and Queen of the Ring in Saudi Arabia, and so that'll be interesting at the end of May. And then we're into Money in the Bank, which should be exciting to see. And we'll be heading into SummerSlam in Cleveland, and we'll be reaching that 1 year mark real soon. We're like, what, I think the end of July is when we officially made our comeback last year. Full-time, almost daily content on this channel. So we're almost around our corner from our 1 year mark of being here as the I mean, we did start a while back. Middle of the pandemic time. And we kind of did a few things, and then we fell off, but we did come back the end of summer, end of July last year. So we're almost to that 1 year mark of our first big return video. So that's an interesting place where we've come from, where we are now. We're on a march. We're sitting at 357 right now. Hopefully we'll get up to 500 here very, very soon. A big deal to get to 500. And of course, then the big march to 1,000. Mr. Clarke giving you a little demonstration what's going to happen at 1,000 when he does this na-na dance. Mr. Z is going to give you a shoey on air. We're going to give away something. So be here for that. Make sure you hit the thumbs up on this video. If you watch this later, drop your comments in the comment section below. As always, join the Value Wrestling family. We are growing. We are going to be the best brand here. We are not pretenders. We are contenders, and you can believe that. We are well on our way to get there. But until the next one, we're going to get out of here. Say goodnight. Say fair adieu. Say goodbye. We are going to not do that one. I need to get over here and do this one. There we are. Say goodbye.
See you later, folks.
Take me back to a place where I felt at home. Take me back to a day when we weren't alone. Take me back to an age when the world felt small. Way back before we blew it all. Take me back to a place where I felt at home. Take me back to a day when we